All right, here we go. This is the very last section of this practice test for our Unit 2 test. This last section deals with inequalities, which is the most recent thing that we've learned this year. So here we go. Which graph best represents the inequality y is less than or equal to 12x minus 4? So just like linear equations, with linear inequalities, we're looking for it to be in that general form. Y equals, in this case it's not going to be equals, but we're looking for an mx plus b, which this one is already in that form. So once again, we're going to be paying close attention to our slope and our intercept, but there's a couple other things we have to keep in mind with inequalities. We have to look out for our symbol, whether it's going to be a dotted or solid line, and also which way the symbol is facing is going to depend on which way the graph is shaded. So I'm trying to think. Probably the easiest thing to start with in a multiple choice test is for me to look at this symbol right here and get rid of anything where the line is not right. So this is less than or equal to. Because it has the equal to symbol, it's going to be a solid line. So automatically that means I can get rid of A and I can get rid of B because those have dotted lines. So those are automatically wrong. Then if I look at things that are different between these two, C is shaded down and D is shaded up. So without even looking at the equation, the slope and the intercept, I can just look and see if the shading is right. So if y is less than, that means my shading should be going down where y is getting less. So C really has to be right. I can also double check here. I should have an intercept at -4, which I do, and a slope of 12. Okay, once again, that's a typo. If you were tuning in before, that should be 1/2. I'm sorry about that. Some of these got formatted funny. So 1/2, 1/2. I hope that didn't throw people totally off. So there we go. That is correct. And actually, these two had the exact same line. It was just the shading that was different. Actually, all of these, M and B, are exactly the same. It's just the shading that's different and the line. So C must be correct there. All right, 41. Which inequality has the solution set shown in the graph? So here, we should notice right away this graph is going straight across, like if we're watching the sunset, it is like the horizon. So this is a horizontal line. So I'm going to think of horizontal. A horizontal line has a slope of 0, and the equation is y equals. So, but in this case, it's going to be an inequality, so it'll actually be greater than or less than or greater than or equal to. So if I kind of erase this horizon I drew, I can see that this is a solid line. So if it's solid, it's going to include the equal to sign. So that means A and B have to be wrong because they don't have that. Then I can pay attention to my shading. The shading here is going up. So that means y actually must be greater than, because that's where y is getting bigger as I go up. So the correct answer here would be D. All right. Next. Which inequality has the solution set shown in the graph? Same kind of question here. It's nice that all of these options already have the y by themselves. So I'm going to look at a few things. First thing I would check is dotted or solid line. This is a dotted line, meaning that it should be greater than or less than, and all of these have a greater than or less than. There's no equal to, so I can't use that to get rid of answer choices. So next I can look at the shading. The shading on this one is going up. If it's going up towards positive y, that would mean that y is greater than. So A and B cannot be right because those are y is less than. Now I need to find my slope and my intercept to see which one is correct. So my intercept is 1, 2, and my slope is going down 1/1, so -1. So both of these have a slope of -1, which is correct, but only C has an intercept of 2, so that must be the right answer. 43, determine which ordered pair is part of the solution set of the inequality graph. So when I'm doing these, when I have a graph, it's nice because I can just plot the points and see if they are part of the solution or not. So something to remember with inequalities is if it's a solid line and the solution is on the line, then it is part of the solution. But if it's a dotted line, it's similar to this idea of the open dot. A dot exactly on this line is not part of the solution. Everything up until that point is, but anything actually on the line is not. So that's the difference in meaning between the solid line and the dotted line. So here, anything that's on this line will not be part of the solution, but anything in the shaded area above the line is part of the solution. So let's plot some points. 2, 1. So I'm going to go over 2 because this is x comma y. So over 2, up 1, that's right here. That is not in the shaded, so no, this is not a solution. -3, so 3 to the left and 3 down. That puts me right on the line. Like I said, if it's straight on this line and it's a dotted line, it is not a solution. Okay, the point 1, comma 3, so over 1 up to 3, that's in the shaded region. Yes, it is a solution. And I'll just check this last one to be sure. -2, -3, 1, 2, 3. It's not in the shaded region, so no. The correct answer is C. 44, the solution to an inequality is shown in the coordinate grid. Which inequality best represents this graph? So these are all in slope-intercept, which is nice. It looks like it's giving me my x-intercept and my y-intercept here, so I'll go ahead and write M and B. B is given to me right here. It's -4. And my slope is going down, so it's going to be negative. And I'm going down 1, 2, 3, 4 over 2. So -4 over 2, which is the same as -2. So I also want to pay attention to dotted or solid line. This line is solid, meaning it's going to be greater than or less than. And my shading is going down towards -y. So my symbol, my symbol here is going to be y is less than or equal to, I'm including the equal to because it's solid and it's going down, and then I can plug in mx plus b, so -2x minus 4. So be really careful. I think I was doing this one earlier for a group of students, and I chose D because I saw the -2x minus 4, and I thought it was right. However, notice D does not have the equal to symbol, so it's not right. So be really, really careful. A and C are not right because then the 2 is not negative. Here is my answer, B. Y is less than or equal to -2x plus 4. That's correct. All right, this is the final page. Here we go. Lori and Maya sold at most $50 worth of Get Well cards and friendship cards. The friendship cards X were sold for $2 each, and the Get Well cards Y were sold for $1.50 each. Which point represents a reasonable number of cards sold? So before I can test points, I have to have a function or an equation or an inequality. When you see the word at most, that's a symbol, that's a clue that you're using an inequality, not an equal sign. So my situation here is 50. They sold at most 50. So that's my kind of standalone value. And if they sold at most 50, it means that they actually sold less than or equal to 50. So whatever my values are over here, they're going to be less than that. 50 is going to be the biggest possible number. That's just something I think through. You could memorize that, I guess, but when I think of at most, I just try and think about what that means. So they're selling Get Well and friendship cards. The friendship cards are X, and they're $2 each. So that means for friendship cards, it's going to be $2 per friendship card, so 2X. Then they're also selling, so I'm going to put adding, Get Well cards, which are Y. Those are $1.50 each, so they're going to get $1.50 times Y. So I have my inequality here, and I'm going to use this to check points. So here they're giving me X's and Y's, and they're asking if it's a reasonable number of cards, so if it is a solution. So I'm going to just have to plug these in. So I'm going to do 2 times 20 plus 150 times 10. Is that less than or equal to 50? Let me check. 2 times 20 is 40. And I'm going to get a little messy here. I'm just going to write these over top. 40 and 150 times 10 would be 15. So 40 plus 15 is 55. Is 55 less than or equal to 50? No, it's greater than. So I'm going to go to the next one. So I have 2 times 15 plus $1.50 times 10 is less than or equal to 50. I want to check this. 2 times 15 is 30. $1.50 times 10 is 15. So 30 plus 15 is 45. Is 45 less than or equal to 50? Yes, this is true. So I can really kind of pick that point before I keep going and solving the rest. Number 46. Every weekend, Greg mows and rakes lawns to earn extra money. He makes $45 for every lawn he mows and an extra $15 for raking. His goal is to earn at least $250 per week. So once again, if you see this word at least, that's a clue that we're using an inequality. If M represents mowing and N represents raking, which inequality models Greg's situation? So for these, before I start looking at my answer choices, I like to just write down my own kind of thought of what the inequality will be and then find the one that matches. So he's making $40 for every lawn he mows, and M is mowing. So he's going to make $45 for every lawn. So I'm going to multiply that times M. Plus, he's going to make $15 for every lawn he rakes, which is N. And that's going to be at least, his goal is to make at least $250. So that means this is how much he's actually making. We want that to be more than or equal to $250, greater than or equal to. So this is my inequality. 45M plus 15N is greater than or equal to. So here's 45M plus 15N is less than. That means he's making less than $250. That's not right. 45M plus 15N is greater than or equal to? Yes. And then these ones have the M's and the N's flipped, so those cannot be right. The best answer is B. And the last question. You have $50 to spend in the bookstore. Books, which are B, cost $8, and magazines, M, cost $3. Which inequality best models the situation? Once again, I'm going to do it myself first. So it's the same type of situation here. I'm paying $8 per book plus $3 per magazine, and I want that to be, in this case, I only have $50, so this amount that I'm spending needs to be less than or equal to 50. So 8B plus 3M, actually these are flipped, so if I were to flip this, it would be 50 is greater than or equal to 8B plus 3M. So 50 is less than, this means I'm spending more than I have, that's not true. 50 is less than, once again not true. 50 is greater than 8B plus 3M, that looks right, C. All right, so that is it for this practice test. Hopefully you were able to work through most of those problems completely by yourself and you're feeling pretty good for tomorrow. If not, I encourage you to really spend some time watching through these videos and practicing the problems, and maybe watch it twice, because this is a really good indicator of what the test will be like tomorrow. So take some time, make sure you really understand all the skills and concepts that are on here, and be ready to go tomorrow. I will see you guys later.